dum dun 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 dun.
I know where you're going with this. Why did you? Today on Stormwater Creek, we'll recap some stuff and things and
Today on
go off this text that I just got for no reason.
It's official shit, bro.
Oh, we got notes. We got meeting minutes sent out.
Meeting minutes. I call to order this meeting of Stormwater Creek.
I like it.
So, welcome back to the Stormwater Creek podcast, guys. We have we've been busy with backcountry hunters and anglers. We've been blazing the trail full draw film tour across the state, and we just finished full draw film tour Dallas, or I guess Fort Worth this year.
Yeah.
At Cinnamon Creek Ranch, which was a blast.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed being able to shoot before full draw. That really got me.
It was a lot of fun.
Got me revved up.
In the mood.
3D shoots are the best, dude.
Little foreplay before watching a movie is always good.
Exactly. I mean, it was so hot. It's been so hot in the state of Texas.
Yeah, you almost died, I think. Again.
I didn't almost die. No, I was good. I just was I reached the point
whiny.
of I was whiny. I was like, ugh. But you know what? It was funny because everybody else was whiny too. I just opened up the whiny. I could see the look on everybody's face, and everybody was like, oh, yeah, I feel that way too.
I was fine.
You are always fine in the heat. You're like Cameron. You people don't, heat doesn't affect you. It does me. I'm a precious young flower who cannot be in 115-degree heat on the top of a man-made mountain at Cinnamon Creek Ranch.
I was born in the South.
It was so fun shooting that course, though.
Yeah.
Have you shot that course? Shot out there on the 3D course,
I haven't
Brandon?
shot that one y'all did. I did that one that's right there by the front of the archery shop area. Call it the jungle of the forest.
Mm-hmm.
What's the longest shot they have there?
Probably 50.
Yeah,
50?
Yeah.
Because they were at 59 where we're at.
They have a couple in there that's like a V in the tree, and they stick the vital right in the middle of it.
Yeah. It's so neat. It's such a different experience.
See, and I actually do better where, when we were shooting down a lane of, trees where there's, a V of a tree, and you got to make it between the two trees to hit the vital. And, I seem to be more on point in that situation.
Narrows.
Yeah, as the window narrows with other stuff involved.
Interesting.
Than, if I have a small target that I'm aiming at in a field. I don't know what it is. You saw some of my shots through
You were
the
on,
bushes.
dude. I was referred to as the spawn killer the entire day. I shot. I spawn shot.
Creek killer.
I shot the creek once, but I spawn shot
Hashtag bow fishing.
four animals. I mean 3D targets, but straight up spined them.
All of them.
I mean, 4 out of 29 were spawned. It was incredible. I was on a run like no other. 3 of them came in a row. I was just like, oh man, I barely missed that. Yeah, pin float was bad. It was fine. I was fine through the first part of it, but in the first part of it, you were in the shade and it was good. And they had a ton of water, thank God, out there. But you rolled through that course, and then you got onto target probably 18, 17. Maybe
Yeah,
16,
I think it was 16.
And that you came out of the forest and you came out to the back of that property, which is just wide open. And they are literally trying to build a mountain.
Yeah.
They're taking all of the fill dirt from the 35 construction and trying to put it.
Oh, that's where they're.
I mean, how tall is that thing, you think?
I'm horrible at.
I mean, I would think.
I know we were standing not at the top of it. We were probably about 3/4 up. And there was a buffalo target. That was the 59
yard
shot downward because it was at almost the bottom. So I don't know what that reverts to and how tall
distance.
it is, but
it was tall. It's good sized.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 400 feet tall, I would think. From bottom to top, right now.
Pretty steep,
yeah.
Over a 59-yard period.
And
it's real big too.
I think Willie was joking somewhat, but they pretty much want to make this thing massive because he was saying that when it's done, from Cinnamon Creek, they want to be able to see the speedway.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So I mean, it's not
like they got the tower right now. You can see. So it's. I mean, it's impressive to see even, and they're just like, we're just not even close to being done with it yet.
Right.
They want to make it really long and make up these different like courses and different ways to go up it and different inclines and different things. So
basically the all the train to hunt and all that kind of stuff is going to be epic out there.
Oh yeah. So what? Mostly
for Texas.
Right.
I mean, my buddy up in Montana sent me pictures of him shooting out there, and he was like, "Oh, I'm doing this," and I was like, "You bastard!"
Exactly.
He's like, "How you Flatlanders doing?" But apparently, Cinnamon Creek's gonna try to get close as they can for Flatlanders.
Yeah. Having some distance and having some angles to go up is good, especially from where we're from. But I mean, and
they had stands set up.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. They had stands and blinds.
They had a little platform, and up in the platform they had like kind of a hangar set up. So it was like being up in a hangar. Nothing was like super elevated, but they had a lot of like
maybe like 10 feet off the ground.
Some of the fancy blinds. They had
12 maybe.
They had an elevated platform that had a pop-up blind style thing that you had to shoot out of,
and then 2 different actual. Like
I don't know what that one was called. It was one of those like really fancy like fiberglass type with like windows, and it said things like "Don't shoot the windows."
And Abe did.
Did you really?
Yeah. It made a scary sound.
Was it a straight up like a skim, or was it like
a skim.
It was definitely a skim, but like we were all like standing down there, we heard it. Everyone kind of did the duck, like you hear that weird noise that you're not used to hearing.
Yeah. Sound your bow shouldn't make. It made. And so, but it was fun, man. I just, every single time we do one of those 3D shoots, it's so much fun. And can't thank Cinnamon Creek enough for hosting BHA. We had a bunch of people turn out. It was really cool to see a bunch of new people. You go to enough of these things, and we're officers associated with backcountry hunters and anglers, so you kind of see the same people come out over and over and over again, which is always a great reunion of people. But I feel like there were so many people that I met for the first time, which was just really cool. And to see those people just show up and be like, "Man, this is my first year hunting." Like there were 2 different people, I believe, that were like, "I hunted last year for the first time," and another guy who's like, "This is our first year hunting." So like.
Yeah, it's so important to get those people to have a good first experience, do something fun like that where like everyone's gonna lose arrows. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it for, and just with numbers going down, it's just unfortunate that just in the world we live in today, it's certainly not been necessary to deer hunt, but as a pastime, I mean, even in the last 10, 15 years, it's just unfortunately dwindled. So if you can get anyone out there. Hunter recruitment, we were talking about that a while back. It's just like it's exciting. If you come out public land, you're in the parking lot, you see someone there that successful or not, you just want to talk to them,
dude?
Make sure like there's a bond there. Like you're out here, I'm out here.
No doubt.
It's October 1st. It's 93 degrees.
We're all sweating and trying to figure out how to get to a stand without killing ourselves. Which we talked a lot about First Light underwear, which is kind of weird. There's 4 of us out there, and we were talking about First Light underwear.
Well, that and I try the Duluth.
Yeah, you were rocking the Duluth underwear, which you said was.
I mean, it was all right.
Like,
it wasn't horrible. I haven't done any First Light undies yet, but I've heard a lot of people talking about.
To Chris, he was like, "Dude, that's where it's at."
The best part about especially the merino wool that they use in that, and the arrow wool, which is a mixture of them, from what I understand. Which, if you're going to do hunting where you're going to be out in the field for long periods of time, you get stinky. And you can't carry a bunch of clothing, but the less that you can stink in your clothes and the more that you're
better.
Arid in your nethers, the better it is for everybody, especially when you get home and, your loved ones have to smell you when you walk in the door.
That's right.
I think a truck stop moratorium has been put on your house, right?
Whitney has asked me several times to stop at a truck stop, but I just don't trust those truckers.
No, dude.
Not with this good-looking body.
I wouldn't.
Not
to mention, I feel like that's a pretty prime place to get athlete's foot.
Oh man.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. If the bathrooms and the showers are any similar at all.
I can barely stop at a truck stop to get gas. Alone.
Yeah, I just feel like like the scene in Dumb and Dumber where at this time at 8:00, true love will meet.
Ugh. So, but I've been looking for some new undies from First Light, and I almost pulled the trigger today.
You should, man.
I'm thinking about it.
And that's like a good thing to actually talk about even a little more in depth about. We always pick stuff that does matter a lot, like sight for your bow, a good bow,
arrows,
broadheads, a good backpack, things that like knockers,
common sense,
a rangefinder, like all this stuff. But like,
then you go to Walmart and you buy yourself a $6 T-shirt.
Well, not just that, but I mean, like, you buy undies that are just, your normal
Hanes.
Everyday Hanes, like cotton undies.
Oh, yeah.
But then you buy, like, let's say you buy nice pants. Let's say you buy a nice shirt, all that stuff. Yeah. But the crap that's right next to your skin where you're actually sweating and doing all that stuff, and then no wonder you get swamp ass.
I mean, yeah, in this state, like, probably half of your deer season is spent in the heat.
For sure. Especially bow season.
I mean, but last year for me it was hot until like December. It felt like. I guess November started to really kind of get a little cooler, but not to any, the 80s.
Dude, I remember in 2015 I was hunting in Somerville, Texas, hunting the public hunting land down there, and all the way up until December, like late December, I was getting like the giant mosquitoes were still out there.
Around.
There was just so much standing water that year too, and unfortunately, or fortunate, however you look at it, this summer's been a lot more dry than it had been in years past, I feel like. So maybe the acorn crop won't be so bumping this year, and they might actually come to a feeder. Feeder cameras have been dead for me for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. I'm wondering what it's... I mean, I guess that's going to be kind of like... I mean, in the same principle as on public land, it's going to be find the acorns and find the deer. Yeah. Find the ones that are dropping. And then that was one of the things we were talking about earlier was like, kind of scouting techniques. And we haven't not been in the field just blazing a trail out, trying to scout for deer thus far. And it's like, I kind of feel like at some point, like, a year ago, I was here, there, and everywhere when it came to trying to scout for deer season, and really just trying to spend as much time out in the field scouting as I could. And I mean, I think that's huge. It's huge, obviously. Like, you just got to do that. But I also went from like 5 properties that I was scouting to 1 property, and just really concentrating down on that one spot. So, I mean, I feel like coming into August and September is when you kind of can get out a little bit and see what's going on for real.
Yeah, anyone that's out there right now they're probably not finding developed acorns enough to figure out if that's going to be a viable food source, which is like the only reason you should even be hunting early October is food source. So if you want to go out there and just really and it is valuable to know the back of your hand,
learning property,
if you've got to walk in a mile or whatever, then snaking through the woods, it's not always going to be so easy to tell what trail you're supposed to take. So you'll figure it out real quick by going in there 2, 3, 4 times and figuring it out. But man, do that. And
I mean, I think I will say that's something that paid off if you're going to a new spot that you go to and you're trying to really learn the property, so that you are. Thank you very much for the cheesecake.
Wow.
We got tableside cheesecake tonight on the podcast, which we thank you with. But, when you're going out there and you're just learning a new spot, that is valuable. But we kind of know this spot, and, we know some of the places we're going to hunt. We've got probably 3 or 4 stand locations already picked out. And so now it's really just kind of like, what are a couple others? Let's go throw some cameras out, which we're in the process of doing. I think we're going to head out this weekend and put some cameras out. But, to me, it's just like, let's just get in there, and I'm ready to do some stand time for sure. I mean, I wonder how much. I mean, what is your opinion on kind of the variability of deer on a piece of public land that is heavily pressured? Obviously, do you think there's a lot of movement from year to year? From when you kind of find a spot where there's some good deer movement through there, do you think that moves from year to year, or do you think they may move off during this time of the year, the early year, the spring, but come fall they're going to push back into those little areas?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think that nature is going to play a bigger part in there. Obviously, hunting pressure is going to play a big part, but whenever you're talking about this grove of acorns made out this year and this one didn't, well, then next year this grove made out and this one didn't, so they're gonna pressure those first early and often, whichever the first one is to drop, which is why when you go out there like in September and you find the only tree that's producing and you're finding deer scat under it for like for days and days, it seems like they've been hitting it. And I've done that. I've put a camera up on a tree that is like the only acorn tree I found on the place that was producing, and I would get deer pictures at noon, 12 a.m., 3 p.m., 3 a.m., didn't matter. They were there. Yeah. And those places are hard to hunt. Like, it's almost like too good of a spot.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you start getting pictures like that, it's good to see them all the time. But when you're hunting something like that, your wind swirls a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just like...
You're done.
That's whenever we get back to that whole concept of, like, save your good stands. Save those A-plus grade stands for, like, whenever the wind is perfect and...
I mean, that's one of the things that I'm fighting this year is just, like, I feel like part of the problem I kind of may have had was I went in, I pressured too much stuff. Like, you can love something to death, right?
I've done that too.
Yeah. That's why I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm not going to spend a lot of time now. I know where I'm going. I know how to get in. I know how to get out. I know the ways to get in at different winds. I know what wind pattern I can hunt these stand locations on. So,
I think that's smart too in this state in particular, where you go to like an LBJ or you go to a place with limited access.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing it by water, which is obviously a way to get away from the pressure. But like a lot of these places, there's one parking lot or it's road frontage on either side. Mm-hmm. So it's smart to stay out of there. I think whenever you can
limit the pressure
to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, you just discussed. You're talking about the area already. You've gone in there. You know your path. You know how you're getting in and out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if this is your first deer season, and you've been out to the field once or twice, time to get after it. Time to get after it for sure. And I think, especially if it's your first or second deer season hunting public land, if you're confident in a spot that it has deer, go learn that piece of property. Learn different routes in. Take different routes every single time you go out to the field because. I mean, I think when I was kind of first starting off, I'd get into real bad habits of going where I know because I was going by myself, and so I wanted to I felt like familiarity was a way to feel some comfort out in the woods and kind of know where I was going and what I was doing. And so I think, like, Abe today would tell Abe back then, like, stop going to the same spot and trying to look for new things. Go to completely different areas and absolutely go outside of the box and, really and truly find those different stand locations. And really, I think one of the best examples of something that you can do is go pull up an almanac, go look at weather last year and look at wind directions.
Yeah.
And like figure out what the average kind of wind direction is and figure out, okay, so if 70% of the time during October it was south-southeast where you're at, then go find your stands that you can hunt south-southeast and then look at November. And where did the wind go there? Was it more of a north-northeast? Was it northwest? Was it, what direction is that wind? And then find those stands and kind of put it into bigger chunks and then start to whittle down into, little tiny piles from that point. And so, and then like I said, I just don't pressure things, but this is your first year, put the metal to the pedal and go out and and don't be worried about pressuring things as much, because you're never going to I think that pressuring things, what did I say? Pedal to the
metal, not metal to the pedal.
Metal to pedal to the metal to the pedal. Well, I mean, it's maybe an inverse reaction of the floor coming to the pedal. Did you ever think about that?
No. You know I don't use my brain.
Because that's stupid, Abe.
Yeah.
But, go out and find those spots. Go learn the piece of property you're in and, put cameras out, have cameras out. And, I think this is a strategy that people are going to kind of everybody's got an opinion about. And, some people are going to be like, no, you need to be out in the field every minute of every day that you can. And that's cool, but I don't think
unless you're spreading it around, like if you got a lot of different units and you can, if it's a big enough place. Unfortunately, it's hard to get.
But I think also too, like at what point, how many times are you going out in the field? How many times are you going to go hunt this year during deer season?
Right. Yeah, you might
5, and you're going to go scout 5 different places. And you're going to go to each one of those places one time.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense, right? I feel like to me it's, and I don't hunt 5 times a year. Last year I hunted 60 plus. So it's like I need to be. I need to be out there. I'm in one spot this year, really. We're going to do some hanging hunts, and, I think we're going to get into Oklahoma hunting again with you again later tonight. But, I'm super excited about just hanging hunts this year.
Yeah.
Just scouting on Onyx, finding places, kind of using since I have scouted these places before, Old Sabine River Bottom is a good place that I think I'm looking at. Because they've got some real good trails cut in there. You can get real deep.
Right.
And if we can get some rain and that river goes up, then you can get up and down that river pretty easily.
Oh, nice.
Which is nice.
Kayak.
Yeah. But the river was down last year, and I couldn't. I got in 500 yards and was like, oh.
Now I'm walking.
I got out of the boat, dragged it over a log, tree, and then just was like, got back in the boat, went 50 feet, and had to do it again. I was like,
It's like, now what am I going to do whenever I got 100 pounds of deer meat?
Yeah. And I gotta figure that out.
Yeah. Now, something you were saying earlier that I can draw back to this last deer season whenever I was hunting public land in Oklahoma was whenever you were saying, there's no reason to be in there right now and to pressure it so much. And even in late October, I had some phenomenal hunts in there, and I thought I was like, this is where I'm going to kill the deer whenever he comes by, because I had seen some shooters and a lot of deer activity that day.
Mm-hmm.
But then you come back, and obviously whenever you make plans, God laughs in your face. Just like someone steals my camera. I see 2 deer, and one of them smelled me that morning. I was like, for November 9th, that's a joke. Like, for this spot, from what I just did the weekend before, it should have been way hotter than this. So then you walk out, you see some deer on your way out, you start looking at their trails where they were bedded, and I could see that they had some deadfall that they had bedded in.
Up underneath, yeah.
So I was like, and it was a buck and a doe bedded together, so you're always like catching your eye on your way out. You're always scouting.
Mm-hmm.
If you're walking and you're looking, if your eyes are open, you're scouting.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up killing that deer just walking, because twice I walked back to the truck and saw a deer in a similar area, and then I just pushed in about 100 yards off of like the main trail, and that's where he got killed.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like right when you think like, this is where I'm at, this is where it's going to happen, it's just like,
no.
Even in November, you're still figuring stuff out.
No, and that's one of the things, like, this year I'm just going to adapt, that's one of the things last year it was just like, I'm going to be in the stand as many times as I can.
Yeah.
And this year I'm like, I'm going to do that, plus I'm not going to be as stubborn as like I was last year and just be like, I'm on this spot, I've seen deer, I'm going to keep hunting this spot.
Yeah. And then you start telling yourself, man, I only saw 3 deer today. I only saw 2 deer today. I only saw 1 deer today. I don't even see anything out of this tree anymore. You wonder why.
Exactly. I'm there all the time, and,
And they know it.
Yeah, they do.
People always forget. They don't go away whenever we go back home. They stay out there. They realize when things are wrong, and it's real easy to tell.
Yeah, they don't commit suicide very often.
No. Though I have been having fun watching videos of deer, like, rutted bucks just jumping over bridges and then
yeah, exactly,
just freaking straight wily coyote in it all the way to the bottom.
Man, I'll tell you, I'm in hardcore born and raised outdoors land of the free from last year. Like, that's all I'm watching right now.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's 52, I think 50 some odd days of them consecutively hunting, like
oh man,
6 different states. And they had what's his name? Not Corey Patterson, but oh my god, I can't believe I just went blank. Who's the guy's like world champion elk caller? Corey Jacobson.
Yeah.
And they're just like, it's really cool because it's nice to see people who show stuff that just like shit broke. Sorry, you know. They, one of their guys would like lose something, and they'd be like, at the end, they'd be like, all right, well, tell him what you did. Tell him what you did. And he's like, I lost all this footage, and like,
oh man,
so that's kind of cool to see, but
keeping it real.
Yeah. So what are you doing for duck season? How's ducks? What is your kind of like? What is it? August? It's like July. What? 25th, I think. 24th, 25th.
I haven't looked when that. They like.
What do you guys
Really haven't looked to the new. What did they come out with?
Season dates and everything.
Yeah.
What do you? What should somebody be doing in the field right now if they're duck hunting? Is it worth it to go and sit and?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right now you should be checking your waters, see what's going on. I mean, you always have local ducks.
Yeah.
I mean, not every single duck's going to be migratory, so you're going to have some locals, kind of see what they're doing, where they're at.
I mean, is there any validity to like hitting up different spots and finding like how often are like local ducks? Are they going to move around between kind of feeding patterns? I don't know. Do they have like? Are they moving to and from places like Deerwood or?
Yeah, I mean the ducks.
It varies.
Yeah, I mean ducks are not too much different than deer. I mean they have a bedding area or a roost, and they're going to go to certain things to feed. They know where to go, especially the local ones. They know exactly where to go.
Yeah.
But that'll give you, if you're watching those guys, the ones that migrate in, they're going to go around the same places because they're going to want to eat the same stuff. They're going to hit the same spots.
Yeah.
Ducks are not dumb.
No.
What does their diet consist of this time of year? Is it any different than whenever you're out there actually blasting at them?
No, it's not much different. I mean, when they're flying down and migrating and actually doing a long haul, they eat a lot more and
a lot more caloric loss.
So
right now, I'm sure they're just trying to stay cool, like everything in the woods.
Yeah.
Which the good thing is that, speaking of cool and water and the lack thereof in the state of Texas so far, and the heat, should be able to find some pigs pretty easily out on public land.
Yeah.
Get on some water spots and just chill.
Yeah, I think those walls will be pretty stinky. You're going to know when you walk by one.
Setting up on one of those will be a good spot.
Yeah, right whenever you start finding the mud on the tree bottoms, you're in it.
You're in the right spot, huh?
Oh, yeah. Like you were talking about earlier, bring your bow if you go to your spot or whatever, because it's like, man, you just got to watch out for, they're just up and out of there all the time, it seems like, any time of day. That is one of the weird things about pigs. You can catch them on camera at like 12 a.m., or you can catch them there at 12 p.m. at water, because they're going to want to cool off all the time,
Yeah, they're just moving in and out of that. Especially, like I said, when you start to narrow down those water spots, you're going to be on them, It's like talking about going hunting elk in southwestern Colorado. You get on water, you're going to get on elk probably, Same thing, I'm sure, with mule deer.
And that's a good thing, especially if you're in a spot with lack of water. Everything needs water.
Everything has to have water, right?
I mean, same thing with, like dove's upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best places to go look for dove is on water or somewhere close to. Especially if you're in between a field and the water. That's the best spot because they can be flying back and forth between it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how, most every animal is going to pattern almost the same. If you can figure it out, where they're bedded, where the food source is and where water is, they're gonna be somewhere in that vicinity. That's what you're basically trying to look for. People are talking about pattern. You're trying to look for where they're staying the night, or where they're eating, and where they're drinking water.
Where they're going to, yeah.
And you just want to set up somewhere where you're gonna catch them slipping.
Exactly. So, let's see. So we have 15 days of dove season, essentially, because after the 15th, teal season starts.
Yep.
So.
Well, we have some spots that we can do both, and
that's true. That is true.
So we can be hunting multiple birds. I mean, that's
so. Like, how do you load your shot? Do you like put in like a duck load, a dove load, and then a duck load, and then just pray?
No, or is it like the first teal I ever shot was on a dove hunt. Not even ever expecting a teal to be anywhere where I was at. I was in the middle of my deer lease hunting dove, and we found a flock of them, and I shot 2 teal with dove load. Teal aren't very big ducks. So
no, they're pretty small. Every time you see them, you can obviously tell they're teal. Now that I've been in the field watching ducks as much as I have because of you guys, you could tell a difference.
Yeah.
A novice duck hunter like myself, I've learned to tell the difference between a teal and, a mallard. Wood ducks are a little smaller than a mallard, though, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But and if you're gonna hunt both of them, what you really want to do is you want to keep your gun loaded with dove shot is what I would do for sure, and then you keep like a nice little duck load
handy.
Separate. Yeah. And because you're gonna see the teal coming way off. They're fast, but dove are a lot faster.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be shooting
those little bastards dove, are fast.
Yeah.
I got it. I guess that's what I need to start scouting for. Really, is dove. But I think we're so gung ho on teal this year that I'm like, better spent just scouting for teal season. God, I'm so excited. I mean, you can tell it's like about 45 days ago, it was starting to creep in like just this like
the innate hunter within.
Like, oh my God, like it's getting closer, and now it's like every day is like it's like January, like the end of January, like after deer season ended through. Turkey season was good. I really wanted to get out and do some turkey hunting this year, but I didn't do one time. I was so busy, which sucks. I can't believe I didn't have any chance to do it, but just the way it goes. But all through that time, it just the obsession with fishing this year was off the charts for me. So I've never been so eaten up alive by fishing, and then the kayak accident happened, and it kind of. I haven't been able to get back out on the water yet, but
can you really call it an accident? I mean, like if you have a tire that is like falling apart, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go drive long distance at 90 miles per hour, and you have a blowout and wreck a car. Could you be like, I had an accident? No, you wrecked your car.
No, I've wrecked my kayak.
You sunk your kayak.
I sunk my kayak.
Like you went out knowing there was a hole in your kayak.
Yeah, and shouldn't have done that, and thought that it wasn't as big as it was, and thought it wouldn't cause as much of a problem as it did, and it did. But it's fixed, and I'm trying to. I may go try to take it out on Saturday. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. We're doing a hike to hunt on Saturday, but by the time this podcast comes out. That hike to hunt would have already occurred, so we apologize for that.
Should have been there.
Should have been there. It was fun. Let's do a hike to hunt recap for one that hasn't happened yet. It was awesome. We started early.
So we got there.
Can you believe what Grinch did?
Oh,
fucking asshole,
dude. At least Max was there though.
Max was there. That was fun. So we'll see how true that is. We'll see if that recap holds true. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna hold true.
Oh, we're like Miss Cleo. We saw the future. So
that was a good reference.
Miss Cleo? Like, you guys know who Miss Cleo is? Like, please, if somebody will... people listening to this podcast, like, if you just don't know who Miss Cleo is, please just, like, write us, email us, put it on social media. Like, I don't know who that is. Like, I'm not in that. Like, I don't know who that is. And please, it's not a bad thing. Miss Cleo is just a... look it up. And then hit us up if you know who it is. So scouting in Oklahoma, man. I think this is... So, Jordan and I were talking. It's like you and I... Brandon and I have been like... Brandon has obviously hunted Oklahoma, public land Oklahoma, a bunch over the last couple seasons, if not more than that. And so I've had this, like... I want to go... I can't go out on a western hunt this year, so it's like... I really want to go do something outside of the state of Texas. So it's like looking into Oklahoma, looking into Arkansas. So you and I have obviously been discussing back and forth some of our, talking about some of the places you've gone before, different strategies we may be able to employ this year with the kayaks.
Yeah.
And then Jordan and I got into it today. Not got into it, but we kind of started talking about, like, Arkansas. And it's like this huge pull between these two states. Like, the familiarity of being able to go, and it's close proximity. But then you have this, like, $350 tag in Arkansas that gives you bear, deer, and turkey. It's just like, man.
It's a good deal. I think Oklahoma's turkey, like, if you just want to add turkey onto the deer, it's like $10.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's a pretty good deal. But yeah, whenever you got black bear, and there's probably a better chance of seeing one over there.
Yeah, but then you're talking about an extra hour, maybe 2.
Yeah, you got to imagine if you're successful on a Sunday evening, if we're interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long haul back home.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to end up being Oklahoma, but I may do Arkansas next year. Yeah. But I mean, I'm also doing over-the-counter Colorado, and we may actually do some over-the-counter Idaho black bear hunting for BHA when BHA Rendezvous comes through. Wow. So if Jeff Bynum, which I talked to the other day, and he was like, dude, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Let's get up here. So.
What are you doing that with stick and string or smoke pole?
I got to think of a gun.
Yeah.
For my first one. I mean, then again, like, black bears have just kind of changed my tune on as far as being like I'm aggressive. Just less afraid of them. I feel like I'm less afraid of black bears. Done some camping in Colorado around a lot of black bears, and just never had a problem. And everybody who I've talked to, all the people who, any Brunella or, Remy Warren, Patelis, Randy Newberg, people just don't seem to be like, they don't seem to worry about black bears.
Yeah.
Like, brown bears are another story, right? Some bitches kill you,
Just cooking the meat thoroughly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worry. Is like, oh, shit, I'm going to shoot one and get trichinosis.
Yeah.
But, like, I could get that shooting pigs,
That's true.
But I'm so, like, black bears are my, like, they're my 2019 crappie. Like, I so want to shoot. Yeah, no, you're right. What am I saying? I just want to shoot a black bear really bad. I want to go hunt a black bear.
Where are you mounting that puppy?
I'm gonna make it a rug.
Rug.
Yeah.
All right. Open mouth, like classic.
Oh yeah.
Teeth showing.
Yeah.
Teeth. Like trying to get water like at 12 in the morning. You're gonna be popping through there, just hit the ground.
So I'm going to make it a rug, but I've seen a lot of people who put the rug up on the wall then, you know. And so
you got to put that rug on the ground so you can be by the firelight.
It's got to be in front of a fireplace, right?
Yeah, but I've got 3 giant dogs who'd be on that thing constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are they going to do? I don't want to, like...
They're going to shed all over it. It'll be a color-phased bear.
Dude, that's... Just, I would love
it. That'd be nice.
A cinnamon.
Yeah.
Black bear, that'd be awesome. Because then people are going to walk in and be like, holy shit, you shot a brown bear? I'm like, no.
Yes. No, that's when you say yes.
Yes, I did. If that's what you think, then yes.
Yeah, I went to Alaska.
I went to Oklahoma and shot a brown bear. Scouting out of state, I mean, what's your strategy? I mean, you just get in the truck and you go up there a couple times? I mean, how are you, like, kind of effectively to go to a place like Oklahoma? What is kind of your strategy for kind of preseason scouting?
Yeah, there's only like 500,000 acres of public land up there, so it can be like pretty daunting looking at that from a aerial standpoint on a map. But like you said, on Onyx, you can go topo and you can kind of see, you know, a lot of that land down there is like mountainous, so you can use ravines and gullies and ridge tops to your advantage. You know, they're going to use the thermal advantage, so you know, you kind of play it to that, whether it's rising or falling, kind of set up. So for scent wise, I should say, that's why you would do that. But I would say, like, kind of similar in Texas, we're looking for those acorn trees, and you're luckily up there you got a lot of tall pines that just stay straight forever. So usually a climber is like my stand of choice, and I'm doing that.
Okay.
But yeah, like you said, it's almost just like if you can find water, then you're going to be in it, especially early season.
Yeah.
And that's so good rut-wise, like funnels, they create such good funnels, it's almost impossible to have a bad hunt and be close to water and food. If you can find an acorn tree, and once again, it's always been said that you have less tannin and white oak. If you can find it, then jump on that. So it's always the funny thing about public land, big piece, how it can go so big and daunting to where if you just kind of know what to look for, you can really hone in on areas like in Oklahoma. Like there's some portions that have like what do they call it? Like a waterfowl refuge, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
And so those seasons will. What am I trying to say here? It doesn't allow human access past a certain season date.
Yeah.
So you know, like no one's going to be coming around from that area. It's a little stuff like that you pick up on, like whenever you're going out of state, just to turn it in your favor. Because like you say, we're like weekend warriors. We're going to leave on a Friday, try to come back like a late Sunday night, and you want to always stack it in your favor as much as you can. Not that people are lazy and complacent when they're hunting close to home, but you really hone it like to the T whenever you're out. So.
It's every little 30 minutes counts, you know?
Yes, no, exactly.
Because it's the difference between being able to get out and not get out. I've just been thinking about how I'm going to alter my work schedule. Like, how do I hunt more during the week? And, man, it's so difficult. I'm just, like, racking my brain with, like, what if I left at this time, and then I got out of the stand at this time, and then that time to the truck, and then that time to the office? Yeah.
Man, you went work, hunt, work again. That's how I heard that.
Well, yeah, like, how do I go from hunting in the morning to, you know, basically like what time would it take for me to be able to get out of the stand, back to the truck, from the truck to the office, and then
back at it?
Or would there be a way for me to go from the office to the stand? That's probably the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
What do you have more success in the morning or the evening? Do you have a preference?
It's always been said that earlier in the season, your evening sits are going to be better.
Okay.
But I don't know. That it always seems like you say that, and then you get like 50 comments. Look at this one I shot.
Yeah, I shot this one
in
the morning.
October 3rd of like 2009, I shot my biggest deer ever on a morning hunt. And just so happened I was able to bait. Had a bunch of does in there. A bunch of bucks came in that were still bachelor. Open / kind of feeling each other out, and it happened in the morning. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if I take like all my deer kills, it's probably split down the middle.
Yeah.
And I've only killed 1 or 2 deer in November. A lot of them have been like opening day kills, but they've been like split right down the middle, morning and evening.
I really think that some of the biggest records of bucks were shot in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Just like
Certainly.
straight up like noon.
Yeah, like just, and that's like you were talking about, like, you never know what's going to happen. If you're sitting on where the pattern is, you don't know what time. Like,
especially in the rut.
I've always climbed out of a stand during the middle of the day, gone and take a nap, all that kind of stuff, because it's the hottest part of the day.
Yeah.
Deer aren't going to move, but
Wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, you're not going to see a lot, but what you do see is going to be worth seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, your numbers go down, but the quality definitely probably
because
goes
that's
up.
the only reason they'd be up is for searching does. And
I think it's one of those things, it doesn't matter what time you go. I mean, I would pick early morning just because that's what I've been taught my whole life is early morning.
Yeah.
And deer move more at dark and, at night, whenever it's dark, when it's cool. And they bed down during the heat. It makes sense. So,
no doubt.
by odds, you should be better morning and evening, but you never know. But just being out in the stand and being able to get out there, like if you're going to try to go out sometime during the day, during the middle of the week, you're going to break that pattern of what's going on. Like they're not going to be able to pattern you as well.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, I think there's something to be said about randomness of you.
Yeah.
Like, and they say that about like your path coming in. It's been said that you should try to come in from different angles if you can. Obviously, the wind, it all has to make sense with the wind.
Sure.
But man, it's hard sometimes whenever you've got 30 pounds of crap on your back and
you're just like, get this.
You're like, am I really gonna walk like that extra bit around?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk an extra like 1,000 yards to like go up and around some area.
Right.
Well, what always bothers me about that is you always have the dude that like has the picture or even the video of him like rolling up to a tree in a four-wheeler, making all kinds of noise, like early in the morning, like smoking a cigarette up in the stand and shoots the big old buck.
Just
like,
a giant, yeah.
And you're like, are you kidding me? Like, and when you're out there with 30 pounds to your pack and you're thinking about that, you're like, does it really matter?
Especially if it's like, if they are breeding period and they're chasing around, there's no telling where they could be. Your extra going 1,000 yards around might be what bumps the deer.
Yeah.
And if you had just gone the right, I mean, to me, it's a complete toss-up in that sense.
It's luck, really. Well, I mean, you're just doing the best you can to get into the best possible position, but in the end, it's...
Well, and even like, I think we talked about this the last time you were on the podcast. We were talking about your big old buck in Oklahoma, where I think it was the Lone Star Outdoor podcast.
Yeah.
Where he was talking to two guys, and he had to have them set, like he tried to put them both on the podcast at the same time, but couldn't do it because these guys' ideas are so different. One of them is 100% wind. Like he just plays the wind. He has his own system. He has, I think he's like milkweed, and just looks at where the wind is going, and he hunts off of where the wind's going.
Right.
The other guy is 100% like rubber boots, a scent suit, like nose jammers, like the 100% like
scent control.
Scent control.
Who gives a shit about the wind?
Yeah. And I think he plays the wind too. Like he never really said fuck the wind, but he was like, you have to have scent control no matter what you're doing because it doesn't matter. Because you never know what thermals are going. Like the guy that was like, just plays the wind, he was like, man, I get off work, I'm a machinist, I smell like oil and all this stuff in my work clothes, my work boots. I walk out to the stand, I've killed tons of deer doing that, just playing the wind.
Yeah, I guess it's all about what you're trying to kill.
Yeah.
I guess you just know that a big buck's not going to stand for it, but in does to an extent, I feel like just because I see does so much more often, I feel like they're just giving me more leeway. Like, they probably do smell me, but they're going to be okay with it because they're not like a big old weary buck.
Yeah, exactly.
That same innate, like, instinct survival.
Of being scared, being... I don't know, it's just weird. I wonder what the difference of that would be. Why one over the other? Do you think it's just because they're younger does, and there's probably a higher doe ratio, and therefore a little bit more opportunity to see them?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there's just more of them.
Because you're probably just not seeing those big, old, weary, fat does that would be awesome in your crock pot. Make neck tacos with.
Oh, man.
I can't wait. That's the problem.
You got a neck?
I don't have any more neck. I got some shank. I got a couple shanks, and I've got some grind that I have left. And that's it. Freezer's getting bare.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you two shoot a... Yeah, it does. When I start hunting with your belly. I'm hoping that you and Grinch shoot an elk this year. Because I'm going to hit y'all in the face and take a little bit of that meat, I think.
I'm for sure taking some of that meat. If he lays a big old elk down, I'm gonna pretty much take my taxes out of that for just being a strong back.
Yeah.
Strong back, weak mind.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
But
so if you boys, I know we put in for the Paladura hunt, and we put in for another hunt. Did you put in with Grinch for that hunt too?
Yes, I put in with Grinch. I put in with you.
So you and I are put in for a odd-ad hunt or exotic hunt, I guess is technically the definition, but I think it's just odd-ad is up there at Paladura. Grinch put all of us in for an odd-ad hunt, maybe at Big Ben? I don't know.
No,
I forget where was it at?
It was yeah, all I did was look at dates and said, yeah, I can totally do that.
He took care of that.
I did notice, which I'm going to apply for, it looks like a single bighorn sheep tag this year. Last year they didn't have one. This year they're going to have one. And I'm totally putting in for that. I want a bighorn. We did that high fence hunt.
Yeah,
and it was
for those rams.
And it was just a shit and grin kind of.
Yeah, just fun hunt.
It wasn't it was. I mean, it wasn't really hunting. It was shooting.
You were grocery shopping for.
And I mean, we didn't get on them all the time, but we basically everyone left with one. Let's put it that way.
It was a recreational hunt.
And man. It definitely broke me into wanting to go out and chase one on some public land,
chase some goats,
and get a big old boy. You don't get to hunt bighorn sheep all that often.
No, you don't. They're in short supply.
Yeah,
but an odd-ad that you can go hunt. I like the fact that Paladura Canyon forces you to put in for two people. You can't apply for yourself.
That's nice.
They're like, no, you need a partner.
You're to get someone out here with you.
It's so rough that they changed their rules about camping in the canyon.
Really?
Because they were dealing with too many people getting sick, hiking in and hiking out, because you couldn't camp in. You had to go in. You could go by yourself, right? I think you could go by yourself. Or you may have been in parties. I forget which one it was. But last year, I think even, you couldn't camp. You had to go in, hunt, and then get out, and then camp in the designated campground.
That's what I was about to say. I remember seeing a lot of designated campgrounds down there.
But I mean, a lot of times, obviously, you're way away from that, from hunting, and so they changed the rules this year, and it's backcountry camp. Just take some water, and there's a lot of you got to check in and everything, but it's I just was doing some aerial scouting on Google Maps and Onyx, and was holy shit, you can get lost in this thing.
Dude.
If you're not careful, you could be. I mean, there's very little water. That's one of the things on the mule deer hunt that I'm going on. I'm the salinity level of the water is so high there that I'm
is it worth sitting on?
No, I'm not really worried about sitting on it, because it's really just the Canadian River that rolls through there, and I think most of the mule deer are going to be pushed up into those canyons and they may move out to that water or move up onto private to get water, which is like, I've been going the last weekend, so I'm kind of like, man, it's going to be blown out.
Oh, you think it's just getting pretty pressured before you get there?
Yeah, I think so. It may be one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I tried to talk my wife into working remote for a whole week and like going up there like Friday, the first weekend of it, and hunting that weekend and then working the week, and then going back out after Thanksgiving and hunting that weekend as well. But she's been like, I don't think I can do that.
It'd be pretty hardcore.
It's a long time to like, because we bring our 3 dogs, and her parents have a dog, and her brother has 3 dogs. So it's like,
it's kind of a full-time job.
It's like 7 dogs, and all of them are big. They're all big dogs. So it's like a lot of dog meat for a week. It's a long time, So
yeah.
I kind of understand it, but I just want to hunt mule deer so bad.
You should just
go up there and come back, and go up there and come back.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Fuck it, dude. YOLO. You only live once, bro.
It's like a 5.5 hour drive, probably.
I wasn't going to say anything about you're tired today, but like now I'm questioning it.
Now I'm like douchebag, like Central. Yeah.
It's got to be the shoes.
It's got to be the shoes. I'm rocking my office attire right now.
I know. It's weird.
I know. You guys are all comfortable. Now, the benefit is that I didn't get chewed up by mosquitoes while we're dialing in our bows, so.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
They tear me up, dude.
Like,
you're like me, bro.
He made me. I had pains.
We were out there for like a second, and you were like,
man,
I was tab dancing, dude. I was itching my legs.
Oh. No, I get it, dude. I'm the same way. Like, it seems to ebb and flow, but
it seems like the thermocells failed this day.
Like, I think something's wrong with yours. Like, when you lay yours down, it turns off. But you keep it up, it stays on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wonder if there's, like, you need to clean out the jet or something.
Just need to get a new thermostat, bro.
Yeah.
How old are y'all? How old is that model?
Mine is 2 year. Yeah, mine's a year old. I got mine last year. When I was tired of getting chewed up by him.
Yeah, and I got mine because last deer season he was like, you need one.
It's rough.
And he was, I mean, they work. Like I said, like, even if I had to buy a new one every year, like,
it'd be worth.
It's worth every penny.
Gold.
Yeah.
It is.
Isn't it funny? It says it's like a 15-foot zone of protection, but you always stick it like right next to your head.
Oh,
like as close as you can get it to your body.
I try to get it. Like, I even try to like position it into the wind to blow onto me, right?
Yes.
Because I feel like if it blows away, then it's like that 15 feet becomes an inch, and it's like I start hearing it in my ear, and then I'm like, I will jump out of this damn 20-foot deer stand and kill myself before I have to listen to that or deal with the buzzing. Last year we were scouting so much, and we'd gotten so much rain through the summer that it was like,
oh, dude,
miserable. Like, just to be on the kayaks and just hear the drone of mosquitoes in them.
Where we go, it was Pat Mays.
Yeah.
That, like, the mosquitoes were horrible and the ticks.
Mm-hmm.
I remember laying in my hammock and ticks raining out of the tree above me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, see, you guys, I don't understand. I mean, and it's like, I have never, every single time I go out with my hammock, I always put a top over it. Like, I have a big, like, 8-man tent, and I just cannibalize the rain tarp off of that.
Yeah.
And so I just make that my...
Just a tick repellent?
A rain fly. Well, no,
just a rain fly over the top of my tent, and so it
Tick
works
repellent.
well. The rain fly over my my hammock.
Yeah.
And,
no, I mean, but when it's nice outside...
Oh, it's beautiful to be able to look up and... Yeah, no.
Like, if you're not, like, if you can't find a tree that's facing a good direction, i.e. a nice breeze going through the,
like blowing
rain
into
fly,
you?
like, then you put a rain fly over and
you gotta drop it down so you get that as much airflow underneath.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's brutal.
Yeah. So I just didn't plan for it. Like, I didn't plan for a raining of ticks.
No.
And I woke up with them crawling all over me.
Ugh.
Jesus. Dude, nature does not want us in it. This exposed flesh thing isn't working out good for us at all.
That's why it's like...
really and truly, it's that we've been pussified. I mean, you really think about it, every animal out there gets ticks on them all the time.
Yeah.
Like, how many hogs, how many deer, anything
Turkeys,
you've ever shot, anything you've shot, like, you find ticks on them all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're just like, whatever. They don't give a shit about that.
Do a little scratching.
Yeah, like, it'll either pop off or be there.
Or I mean, blow up. You've seen some of them grow to, like...
those big old pus ticks.
Oh, yeah.
Big.
Ugh.
But, like, I really and truly, like, when you get a tick, how many times are you like, oh, man, there's something on... Like, you don't know it's even there once it's there.
I know it's so weird when a tick gets on you, though, that it goes from, like, you don't know what's on you till it's like, oh, and you're like, oh, it's look like at radiating. You. You're like,
yeah,
where did you come from? And then you got to be, like, real deliberate about, like, do I just, like, reach down and pull you off, or is there, like, some sort of method?
Oh, man, like, anytime I pull a tick off my dog or even myself or whatever, like, I'm always, like, you have the hesitant, like, is there a better way to do this?
Yeah.
And you sit there for, like, a good minute, like, looking for the head of the tick to make sure it didn't, like, stay in.
Yeah, or it gets, like, you can tell when it does, and you're like, oh, no. Surgery time.
Yeah.
I will cut myself. Heaven forbid you get bit by one of them ticks that makes you allergic to red meat. Fuck that life.
Yeah.
Because that's the end, right?
It's incurable? It's
nothing? It's incurable. You're, like, fucked for life.
Yeah,
you are now allergic to red meat. Could you imagine?
Put me in the ground.
Like, god damn. Like, I don't, like, how could you be friends with, like, do you think we'd all stay friends if one of us stopped eating red meat? Like,
so, it's all red meat. Like, no matter what. Because, like, venison is healthier than skinless chicken.
Yeah.
From what I understand, from a nutrition standpoint. So, if venison is still cool, and I guess as long as I could eat turkey and chicken, like, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Like, I'm allergic to fresh fruit, so I'm pretty much fucked already.
Yeah, but, like, if I'm gonna choose to be allergic to something, it's gonna be fresh fruit over meat, right?
Oh no, for sure,
yeah.
For sure. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, you gotta always look at a bright side. Like, at least you can still shoot turkey and eat them and duck. Right.
So,
and fish.
In a case of cruel irony, indeed, that a tick named after Texas can render you unable to eat red meat. If it's sushi you crave, you'll be just fine, but barbecue is out of the question. If you're bitten by a Lone Star tick and get the short end of the stick, what you really become allergic to is
Dr. Seuss's
carbohydrate called galactose alpha 1-3.
Yeah.
Alpha gal is in most mammalian cell membranes, so the allergy doesn't extend to non-mammalian. Poultry and seafood are all fine. And you really shouldn't eat apes. Ugh, gross. Yeah, I'm not eating monkeys.
Monkeys are delicious.
But theoretically, you could. Oh god damn! I mean, but could you stay friends with something? Like, would we all just, like, hang out still? Like, if I just came over and I'm like,
like, if it's a medical thing, like, I'd feel sorry for you and I'd want to still hang out with you.
Yeah.
But if it's like a choice, like
I feel I'd go the other way and just be like, shh. Meat is murder, motherfucker.
Just cheese on my half of the pizza. Oh.
Ugh.
Oh, what are you
But we could have had some of the delicious crab cakes that we had. Crab cakes? Holy shit. Crappie cakes that we had today. They look like crab cakes. Like, the presentation and, like, the chunkiness of that fish that your wife pulled off was, like, impressive. Like, it was like, if you put that down in front of somebody and said, is that a jumbo lump crab cake? They'd have been like, yes, it is, you idiot. How can you not know that? And be like, no, that's a crappie cake.
Well, it's so good during the summer because it has that
refreshing light,
citrus flavor to it. You know, man, it's just
they were so good. So good.
Yeah, it's not heavy. There's so many things you just come by during your day that you're just like, oh, why did I do that? This one's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. They were so tasty.
Yeah,
like one of the few things that I've seen in real life that looked better in real life than it did in the picture.
Yeah, I mean, she did a good job at the picture too. For the
no doubt, but like I looked at those crab cakes when we walked in, I was like, a crab cake, crappie cakes, and I was like, oh my god, look at those things. They look freaking awesome. They were so good.
They were amazing.
My favorite fish to fish is crappie for sure.
Well, I mean, and when you can make delicious meals like crappie cakes and
it's nice. No, we need to get out on the water again. But I'm almost like not over it, but I'm just kind of like it's so freaking hot, you know. I mean, like it's like go fishing at like 2 in the morning until like 8, and then you're done. Maybe that's what we do.
You could probably totally pull that off.
We should.
It's all around your working hours. You just figured it out.
Yep.
Boom.
I don't need to sleep.
Yeah. Dude, I swear to God.
Shoot, man, it's already past my bedtime for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here drifting off to sleep.
Dozing off on this, so.
Yeah, I'm like my grandfather already.
Yeah, it's like 10, like 20 minutes
telling stories
and
and talking, and then all of a sudden it gets quiet for a second, and you look over, and he's halfway asleep, and you're like, we should go to bed? No, so...
Go get Pappy a beer.
Now he just continue talking about fishing, like, without skipping a beat. Mm-hmm. Channel cats and catfish and...
Yeah.
Dude, guess who's going for bull reds in October in Venice?
I'm guessing this guy with 2 thumbs over here pointing at himself, yeah.
With 2 thumbs and an oral fixation.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going.
Yes.
Now I got a couple of me and my buddies to go down there, and I guess we're getting provided all of our equipment, but we're just putting up for hotels and attempt to get up in the morning after long nights, I'm sure. But, yeah, that's going to be fun. What is it, like 10 hours probably to get down there? Yeah, that's going to be
Venice.
fun.
I don't know where Venice is at. You're from that part of the country, J Money. I'm guessing you don't know by your lack thereof. Or is it because I called you J Money? Or are you asleep? Wake up, Granddad.
You know, not really familiar with that one.
Where's Venice? Besides Italy. Everybody yelling at the radio right now. We know we're not talking about Italy.
It's right there at the very
if only there was a device that was handheld and you could just punch in where it is.
Yeah, it's too bad we're living in the 50s here.
And stop looking at porn on that thing and type it into Google Maps.
That's why it stopped working.
It's right here in the middle of this.
Yeah, it's southeast in New Orleans.
Oh, okay. So you're going to Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay. My brother and I went to...
Yeah, see, I didn't... It didn't ring a bell to me.
No?
I'm from the South. Not...
We went to Grand Isle.
Not the East.
Last year. Yeah, Venice. That ought to be pretty cool, man. We got into those little hardhead cats and stuff like that. Mm. There were crabs everywhere, dude.
Where at?
Grand Isle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we went
down
there.
With your brother?
Yeah.
Yep.
We had good times. I want to go back, but it's too late, man.
Dude, 2 of the guys at work came back, and you know, I was on my vacation, and I was like, man, you got a little son? What have you been up to? And he was like, oh, man, we went offshore fishing. They went and hit up a bunch of reds to these guys, and they were telling me about it, and I was just like, dude, sounds amazing. He's like, dude, the whole inner thigh is bruised from pulling these monsters in. I'm like, dude, it's fucking amazing. He said there was supposed to be a tuna run, but they ended up getting on reds. And I guess they didn't get on any tuna, but...
Why would you? Man, that's exciting. We used to use them out in Fairfield Lake. They used to have reds out there, and we would just, like, if we had a crawfish boil, we'd keep some left over, and we would go and throw those, and it was just, like, all day.
It was all
there's a lake down in
San Antonio.
Area.
Is that Fairfield? What are you talking about?
Fairfield's like near Palestine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they have reds up that far east?
They used to.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
There's a lake in near San Antonio. They stock reds in.
Really?
Yeah.
It's got a good, healthy population. It's still fishable.
I guess so.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I haven't fished it. Grinch was
telling us about it.
Yeah, Grinch has been on that lake.
We need to get with my cousin. She's a freaking red and speckled murderer.
Yeah, we need to become friends.
We need to get her to take us out.
Yeah, we just need to go out.
She's the kind that's just like, I've told you to come down here. Come down here and get in the damn boat and let's go catch fish, bro.
Yeah.
So
I'm down with that. I need to get serious about fly fishing.
Dude,
I
talked to Sean today.
Yeah.
He was like, clearly you've gone down the rabbit hole.
Well, and I talked to him too, and like everything in life, it's all about like making time for stuff. And man, I need more time. Like I'm horrible at scheduling time, which obviously I just learned how to use a calendar this year. Thanks to Stormwater Creek, it's helped me do that. But I asked him, I was like, dude, I need you to teach me to cast. Like I can cast, I can get it out there, I can totally fish, but it's still not right. Like I have one, like with a bait caster, I can do really well with a bait. I put a bucket in the backyard of my bait caster, and I can cast it into the bucket. Yeah. Like I cast one way, I cannot overhead cast with my bait caster. Don't know why, but I do my
flip.
Yep, I flip that bitch and do a little whip shot.
Well, I mean, I think it's just getting comfortable with it. Like I said, it's just a.
Well, and I've always fished on a boat that there's a dude behind me, a dude beside me. Like I had to learn to fish with like kind short casts
out in front of you. You know,
because when you're a bunch of working class dudes and everybody's into fishing, you have 4 dudes on a bass boat that's only supposed to run 3 dudes on it. Like everybody. And I've been on that same boat with 5 dudes on it. Because everybody chipped in. You don't want to leave anyone out. Like everybody can go that weekend, so we all went. That's fine. I can cast in a hallway if I really need to.
Yeah. I think it's just like such a foreign like it's just a completely different way of thinking and doing. Like he was talking about like unfurling the line from the tip. And you're just like, and whoever thinks about that, regardless if you're using a spinning or a bait casting or a old Zebco 202. The idea of unfurling line from the end of the rod.
It just sounds fancy, too.
It does sound fancy. It's like strike indicator.
A bobber.
It's a bobber.
Yeah, don't.
You heard it here first. It's a bobber.
Yeah, fuck all that noise. I ain't fancy like that. I may want to fly fish, but I ain't fancy.
It's a bobber. You can call it a cork. You can call it a bobber.
I'm a lady.
But man, I'll tell you what, the fly tying thing for me has become a addiction.
Yeah, and I want to get hit by that bug for sure.
I mean, that's the problem with that is that you could do it right here. I mean, at your sitting, I do it like basically I tie like a fly or 2 a night now.
I got one of your flies over there. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The dragonfly one's sitting on.
In there, yeah.
It's like Barbie dolls for men.
It's my freaking wife makes fun of me. She's like, "So what are you into, like crafting now?" And I'm like,
"This is a scrapbook."
She's like, "Look at you in here crafting." I'm like, "This is tying flies, babe, not crafting."
It is crafting. With my hands. Like, it really is crafting. I mean, you're crafting something.
No, I get
by
it.
the definition.
By the definition.
I mean,
she's trying to be an asshole and be like, I'm freaking quilting or something.
Yeah, but
like
that's
that.
what I mean. Like, I mean, who cares? Like, quilts are freaking comfortable. If you could make a quilt, I'd be very impressed.
I'm cool with
Jordan
that.
will defend anything that is made by 2 hands.
Yeah, no, which I appreciate. And I'm cool with. I'm like, nothing bad about that.
When I was growing up,
I'm a man. Damn it.
When I was growing up as a kid, like I knew dudes that knew how to sew, and I'd be like, "You sew? That's so lame." Now I'm like older. I'm like, dude, I wish I knew how to sew so I could like
save my shirt.
Yeah,
like maybe I could go buy merino wool and make my own second light pants.
Second light.
Sunrise. Oh no, this is a sunrise, not a sunset. Stika pants. Are you using trail cams up north?
Not yet. I'm planning on within the next 2-3 weeks to head up there and get it done. My schedule finally just cleared out. It was like all of July. It was stupid. So
no, I feel you.
Finally getting cut free on my weekends. But yeah, this weekend I'm gonna hit up my spot close here in town, and then hopefully within the next week after that I go up there. It's just once again making time for stuff. It's like shoot, do I do a day trip? It is close enough. About 2.5 hours.
Let's go, dude.
You can get up at 6 a.m.
Time to get rid of these day jobs and get serious about some real
Dude,
life
all you need
shit.
to be able to do is eat and drink.
That's it.
We can provide the meat. We gotta keep it cool.
I just want to do some hood rat shit and smoke real cigarettes with
my friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. Maybe get grounded.
You're talking
no
about
video games for like a week.
Jordan was talking about the pussification of everything, man. Let's just go out there and make it work. Like October 1st to like December 31st. I'm outdoors, baby.
Dude. That's what I'm like. I feel like that's one of the things that's kept me inside so much now. It's just because I'm like, I know that I'm about to unleash.
You're like a bear hibernating right now.
That's exactly the way I feel. I'm like, I'm sleeping in right now so that come September 30th or 29th this year, I'm getting up at like 3 in the morning, rolling out, and we got to figure out where we're going to be at opening day. Are we going to camp out like we did last year? I think we should.
Yeah.
It should be a tradition.
Trailer.
Oh, you're going to have your fancy thing, huh? No camping out?
Yeah, what's this camping out like? What are we defining this as?
Well, last year we were in hammocks.
Yeah.
Getting ticks rained down on us. I'm cool with that. I mean, if you want to keep tradition alive, I mean,
Dude, if it's got an AC, though.
I mean, it definitely has an AC.
We roll that thing up there. We could be like those old dudes over there and be like,
That's cool.
That's cute. You guys are in a tent.
You hit a certain age, and for me, I think every year it gets like, younger and younger of old age. You know what I mean? Like, you hit a certain age, and you're like,
you feel,
that's cool and everything. Like, I mean, I remember when I slept on a rock.
Yeah.
But
now I've got a mattress.
I got a memory foam mattress in here and an AC, and everything I need to cook.
3 o'clock becomes a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
When you're not like, I've been up for hours trying to get comfortable.
The only problem with, like, comfy camping is I feel like I drink more with comfy camping.
No doubt.
Like, when you have limited space and limited time, and, like, you drink enough to fall asleep, and you fall asleep and go to sleep.
Yeah.
But when you're, like, in a trailer or an RV or something like that, you're like, oh, let's turn the TV on.
Yeah.
Let's, and it kind of takes away from it. So like, there's both ends of that. Like, do I want to be comfy and be able to sleep comfy and wake up easier, or am I gonna actually stay up later?
Yeah.
Get shit faced and have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and stumble through the woods still half drunk. Which I would never do.
No, never mix the alcohol in the hunting children.
No,
because that's wrong.
That is wrong.
What time are you actually getting up whenever you're out there on public land? If you're camping close to the site.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were waking up at like 4, rolling out by 4:30. By the time you got in the stand, it was like 5:30.
Yeah.
And
then you chilled for like an hour. And then the sun started coming up.
And I get that. Like, that's a boring part of hunting to me.
The hour
is like, the hour of you being out there in pitch dark. Like, you can't see anything. Like,
dude, but
you don't want to turn your phone on because like that, like
scare stuff.
Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, well,
do like Grinch did.
Tie yourself up and by
Grinch
the neck
took his,
and
like
do the old auto asphyxiation.
Yeah, and just. I don't think that's what he was doing, but it's even better. He like tied himself up underneath his arms, around his chest, and then just like fell forward and slept in his stand until the sun came up.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, like I was like, that's such a good idea. I mean, what else are you doing with your lineman's belt once you get up into the tree?
Nothing.
Put it in your backpack, you know, like not using it on the way back down, you know.
Man, but like whenever you're sitting there and it's just pitch black dark, and then you hear like something eating acorns near you.
Yeah.
How annoying is that? You're like trying to see it. You're like squinting, thinking it's gonna make it any better, and you're just like, God dang.
Yeah.
Dude, when I was up there opening day, I had something huge rutting around, and I was like, dude, there's a pig. I'm gonna try to slaughter this pig because it sounded huge. And like, I'm sitting there and I hear it coming, and it's rutting around doing all this stuff. I couldn't see it. It's still pitch black, so I waited like 30 minutes listening to this thing, and then there was nothing. When daylight came up, I saw absolutely nothing. Like, damn, dude. And later on, I heard it again. And I look around, there's just an armadillo running through. I was like, oh. Damn it.
I don't know about y'all, but whenever you're trying to find your way back to the truck and your light hits that armadillo and he just takes off running.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Dude.
They're pretty quick.
They are quick.
They're scary as shit.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like that is the one thing that over time I've become a little bit more comfortable with is being
the noise and the pitch black.
Well, walking, like in my tree stand, I feel secure because I'm like
off the ground.
I'm off the ground. I'm protected.
You can
like,
see.
I know there's no like bears coming up to get me, right? You know, so like, and I'm not really concerned about coyotes. I mean, like,
what about a bobcat?
I mean, like, I feel like a bobcat would have to like that's gonna have to be like something where they like jump on you and like accidentally like claw you like right in the neck that hits your like spinal cord, and you just go like, oh shit, and you're like laying on the ground getting eaten alive by a little cat. Ugh.
Yeah, it's mostly the spiders. The spider webs that come out of nowhere. You start playing karate with yourself.
Like, I've just gotten to where like I'll walk like with something in front of my face.
Oh, like a little stick.
Yeah, just like walk like this. And just like it clears the way for me.
Yeah.
Pull an arrow off and just walk with that in front of you, and yeah, you know, because I used to walk in with the light, then I was like, this is stupid. So then I'd walk in for a long time without a light until I got to places where I'm like, I can't see in front of me right now, so I need to
Dude, I'm horrible. Like if you give me 10 minutes and I'm supposed to walk a certain direction, I guarantee I'm doing a circle.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
You're with Grinch on that one.
Dude. And Cameron.
Remember?
Dude.
Hey, Cameron almost killed you with that one.
Cameron almost killed me getting lost like that, but I'm pretty good about not doing that, but like having Onyx is like...
Oh yeah. Dude, just put it as dim as your phone can go. It's worth doing.
That's where some battery gets used, but
the biggest thing, like, Onyx helps out 100%.
With that tracker, it's the shit.
Like, make sure that you download the maps of where you're going. Mm-hmm. Because when I first got it, I didn't understand how it worked. And I took it out there and was like, here it is. Like,
sweet.
And I tried to pull it up. I'm like, well, this is dumb. It's supposed to just be loaded on my phone like a TomTom or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, like, I realized, oh, shit, I'm supposed
Damn
to.
It.
Yeah, idiot. So, the next time I got them downloaded, and then it was fantastic.
Airplane mode.
And, yeah, then I learned about airplane mode, which is even better because your battery lasts forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is true.
Because your GPS still works in airplane mode.
Yeah.
Little golden nugget for you, right there.
It's
coming at you live.
Coming at you live and uncut from
Raw.
Casa de Jordan. Yeah, so I think we've got trail cameras going out on Saturday. So we'll have some cameras going out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to check mine, too, that day from that site that I sent you, or from that location I sent you the other day, where that buck walked by there.
Out at LBJ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's going to get checked.
Oh, you're going to check cameras on Saturday?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
So
I'm taking my mama to Jason Aldean. Got to treat her right.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's her 48th birthday. She likes all
youngin', huh?
Oh, my God.
Hey, Brandon. Who's your mom? What's she up to now?
My wife is your mother's age.
Go.
I say that because she's not listening to that. Not his wife, my wife. Wow. It's like I'm dating Brandon's mom.
That's the quote. Can we make that the quote of this podcast?
Yeah. Like Ranella releases, like...
Do you have a picture of your mom?
You guys, you can't
that's
do this
too
to
far
me right now. You can't do it to me.
So, yeah, cameras are going out. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about that is coming up in the month of August, and pay attention to the Texas chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. And if you are not a member of them, go out to the Facebook page, go out to backcountryhunters.org, sign up, or go to one of the Pint Nights that we're going to have. Because we've got a hike to hunt on Saturday, which
no
this
one's
podcast...
going to be able to go to that listens to this that didn't...
And the Pint Night that is going to happen next, no one will be at because, well, people will be at, but if you're listening to this, that Pint Night has also already occurred.
Oh, yeah.
That's illegal.
Fantastic.
On August 2nd. So, but on August 22nd, the Texas Parks and Wildlife, or August 23rd, I apologize. Texas Parks and Wildlife is going to vote on adding 16,000 acres to Black Gap Wildlife Management Area.
Nice.
So this was something that was going to get voted on in, I think, April maybe? April, I think is when it was, up in Lubbock for their meeting up there, and they tabled it until Austin. So BHA is going to be in the house there to represent. The Texas chapter of BHA is going to be there. I think myself or maybe Todd or Michael Panassi are going to be there, and we're going to speak to the committee about the importance of adding that 16,000 acres. But that's 16,000 acres of public land that can get added to the state of Texas that you can go hunt out. Now, Black Gap's out by Big Bend, so it's a haul out there, but that's a bunch of land.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of land. And,
Speaking of, like, adding land and stuff like that, like, I've been meaning to either post up on social media or talk to, on the podcast about this, but all the people that have been just putting Senator Mike Lee on blast, like, yeah. I've noticed every single post that he's posted on social media, like, it doesn't matter what his post is about, like, everybody's just like, hey, keep it public. Hey, you talking about freedom? How about freedom of us having our land?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, welcome to America. Hashtag keep it public, which, fantastic, all you guys. If y'all guys don't do that, is Senator Mike Lee on Instagram.
If you've ever thought about trolling someone, go find him and troll him.
Because he's definitely needs it. Like, I normally wouldn't wish that on anyone except for that idiot.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to stand up and talk about the freedom and this and that about how you stand for the American people, but then want to take away what's theirs to give to, some sort of a company that's going to, kick you out or sell it off to a state who's going to sell it off, and we're going to lose access to it. Then, I mean, the state alone is just an example of that. We have a very small amount of public land, and so the little bit we do is great to go hunt on. I mean, 1.7 million acres is more than enough for me to go hunt on. But, when a bunch of us need to do it, and money's tight these days, man, so trying to get yourself a $5,000 or $10,000 deer lease is just sometimes not feasible. which means you don't hunt, or you maybe go hunt once. Public land will allow you to hunt
$48 a year.
I hunted 60 times last year because I got to hunt on public land. That is the only reason that I hunted that much last year.
I'm going to math the whole thing. That's less than $1 a day.
Oh, yeah. I fully took advantage of the state of Texas with my $48 stamp. And, I paid for my duck stamp. Didn't shoot a duck, but I did duck hunt, which was nice.
And, yeah, that I know it's on repeat here, broken record, but, I mean, you should always buy your duck stamp.
Absolutely.
That federal duck stamp is super important. Even if you don't plan on hunting public land, if you love public land, maybe you don't have plans on going out to it. If you can, spend the $48 on that endorsement, because all that stuff trickles down to helping keep it, helping money go towards, our wonderful men in uniform for the game wardens and, our state park systems, all that kind of stuff. Like, everything's in a bunch together. Even the duck stamp, that goes up federal, and no matter what some idiots in our Senate say, that stuff goes up to federal, then it gets used for what it's supposed to be used for in wildlife, and then it gets trickled back to the states that, guess what, use their money to go back to the hunting and fishing, Texas Parks and Wildlife for us, whatever state agency other states have, they use a certain percentage of their money that they get from hunting license back into that program. They get a portion of what's left over of the federal duck stamp.
Conservation, man. That's what it's about. Even if you're not hunting, protect it. Because it protects lands where we hunt. They're kind of shared. It's a shared resource, so protect what we got.
Like someone's mom.
Dude.
Stacy's mom.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to deflect, if you can't tell.
No, I know, but
didn't work.
No.
I was trying to nonchalantly bring it back to that.
Bring it right on back.
You kind of did. So, what else we got?
I don't know.
Black Gap. So there will be a form. There will be a letter going out via the newsletter if you're a BHA member. There will be a post on our social media coming out. It may have already happened if you're listening to this. With a letter that you can send to Todd Hollingsworth from the Texas Parks and Wildlife, and we'll include his email address. And we want you to comment. We're going to do the work for you. We're going to provide you with a letter to send to him to talk to him about Black Gap. And if you don't know about it, go and look it up. Like I said, 16,000 acres. And if you have dreamed about doing what we talked about earlier, which is shooting a sheep, well, 16,000 acres of public land is going to go a long way to give those sheep the type of habitat and the size habitat they need, especially because they're going to be protected by the state at that point, managed heavily by the state right there on public land. So build it up. I mean, I wonder how far Black Gap is. Don't we have some elk wander around in that area?
So there is a rumored, fabled herd of free-range elk in that area.
That are near there, right?
Yeah, and they apparently do go somewhat onto the public land. But that stuff over there is a very weird area.
1, 2, 3, gun to your head. You see an elk in the state of Texas. Do you shoot it?
Wait, what?
You see an elk in the state of Texas. Are you going to shoot it?
Yep.
Yeah, me too. I'd have a hard time not.
I mean,
what about you, Brandon?
Oh yeah,
they're an exotic, so it's legal to.
I know it's legal.
Then why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
I don't even know what that question is anymore.
I don't even know either. I am so dumb. Yeah, Black Gap is like right in that area where I feel like you could probably get some elk coming out of New Mexico. Dude.
My phone's working. So it's 8 hours and 1 minute from right here. 526 miles.
It's about to get 16,000 miles closer. I mean, unless that land is on the west side of Black Gap, then it's staying the same distance.
Yeah.
But that, I mean,
dude, I'm fascinated with West Texas.
West Texas is cool. My uncle used to live near, or actually in Alpine, which is where Black Gap is.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I remember going out there as a kid, and I loved it. You know, it's kind of far away. That's the main problem.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I went to school in Canyon. Not that that's anywhere near Alpine, but I did go to school in Canyon for a year, so I'm pretty familiar with Paladero.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You do anything up at Lake Meredith?
No, I haven't. Man, it was weird. Whenever I was up there, I just didn't quite do the research I should have whenever I was going to college up there. But
you know, that drive, you know, thinking about it, that drive is the same amount of a normal work day, 8 hours.
Yeah.
Which I'd rather drive
8 hours to get somewhere to go hunt.
Somewhere to hunt than be at work. And I work longer than 8 hours a day most days. So,
yeah,
you know what? That doesn't sound that bad for.
Let's do the damn thing.
So how much? So I fired off with saying that I'd go sheep hunting with you. We already actually put that in motion if we get the draw.
Yeah.
You know, of course. But
when we draw.
So yeah, when we draw, good. Don't set up for failure. So it was a $10 entry.
It was $3.
$3.
It was $6 for each.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the bighorn sheep is $10. I think.
Yeah, the bighorn sheep is like $10. The guided scimitar orcs is like $10. There's another like exotic.
So what's the actual? Let's put this in like a good perspective. What's the actual price of that tag when you get it?
I think it's $130 maybe.
$130 for the aoudad?
For both of us to shoot aoudad.
For both of us to shoot an aoudad, $130.
We both get tags.
So it's split $130.
Yep.
And how many people are you allowed to have in that ticket?
2. Me and you, that's it.
That's it?
They're very particular about that. I tried to get somebody to go with me on that Old Sabine River Bottom trip. They're like, no. Just you. So I had to self-film.
Well, I'm just trying to think, like, you can drive 8 hours, and for $130, split between you and a buddy, you can have a. What are the? Do you remember the odds?
I don't.
Of success rate?
I don't think it's
very high.
I think it's like 15-20%.
Yeah. So, do you think that's from the terrain?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think most people here are just not used to that terrain?
Yeah, I think that you just don't have. You just have a bunch of people from not West Texas that are not accustomed to Western hunting like that, who are going out there and.
West Texas is a pretty rough place.
It's brutal. Yeah. If you don't know what you're doing, and so you go out there and you move around a bunch, and they see you so far away, so you kind of gotta have some good optics. You gotta, to me, it's like you gotta get up into a place where you can glass some cliff and cliffs and different little outcrops and just glass as much territory as you can. And then make a stock on one or try to get as close as you can. And then be able to punch one from 400, 500, 600 yards away.
How many days is that hunt supposed to be?
I don't know. I forget what it was. I think it's like a 6-day hunt or so. All right. I feel like that's what it was.
Right at the beginning of next year, right?
Yeah, it's like the 5th and 6th, and then I think there's another one on like the 15th or like the 2nd, or it's like the 1st and 2nd week or 1st and 3rd week of December.
If I remember correctly, we're pretty much not going to work January. Like, we're taking the whole month of January off.
Dude, that's my birthday. I get freaking vacation time rolls in January for me again, so Yeah.
That's going to be a stacked January. If you guys are out there doing that, I'm in Arizona doing mule deer.
Well, I think that's when the one with Grinch, too, is around that time, too.
Yeah.
For Paladiro?
Well, Paladiro, and then we put in for another one. There's a couple that are in January. Those exotics that stretch out, so.
I want to say it's off the Devil's River or something.
Yes, that's where it is. I think the Devil's River.
Which I've always wanted to go on the Devil's.
Dude. Absolutely.
I've heard it's pretty brutal.
Colin, the treasury for BHA here in Texas, went with his brother to float the Devil's River a couple months ago. Said it was really cool.
Did you do the... where's that extreme... the
Whitewater or...
the race or whatever it is.
That's the Texas Water Safari?
Yeah.
That is not on the Devil's River. That is on the Guadalupe.
Is it the Guadalupe?
And it runs from San Marcos to... out to the Gulf. And then you have to, I think you're 2 miles out from the Gulf. I actually have a coworker who ran that this year, who did it. He did not make it, but he absolutely ran that and was on that trip. So it was a fun event. He said, so we're going to have him on the podcast soon to talk about the Texas Water Safari, which I thought was pretty cool. He said it was he trained really hard. He's in great shape too, and so, he got back from that and he was like, it was nowhere near the training that I needed to be like. He was like, we were so ill prepared for this, it was not even funny, so.
I shouldn't go ill prepared for almost everything.
Just go in half cocked and be like,
yeah, for sure.
F it, bro, I've got this.
What do you plan on? You plan on doing any sort of like physical preparation on that at all? If you end up drawing for that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of continue to do the hike to hunt stuff and just hiking with the pack and that's just
take whatever you're going to take out there and apply it to wherever you're currently living, like if you're going to be packing with a big pack out there, do it at home.
Yeah, I've got my pack, and we're running those. What is that, an Alps? Or no, that's not an Alps. It's the pack that you and Grinch got.
It is an Alps.
It's an Alps Outdoor, yeah. So they've got some Alps Outdoor packs, frame packs that have a shelf on them, and they really like them, and I think that's what I'm going to go with.
Nice.
I also have an internal frame pack but the problem is I'm going to have some real problems with trying to get meat out. So yeah. I'm going to get that Alps Outdoor pack that they've got, and
there's a couple things I don't like about it.
Okay.
But man, for the price, it's fantastic.
What, $100? $120?
Yeah. For the frame and the pack itself.
Yeah. Do you feel like you could get a couple days? I mean, how many days do you think you could pack in that?
Oh, I could at least a week.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to get that, and I'm going to go with for my mule deer trip. I'm going to get the I've got a little A-frame tent that uses trekking poles instead of actual poles. So
oh wow.
You don't even have to carry any poles. It's super lightweight, packs down to about the size of a water bottle. So the new pack, tent, I've got, and then I think I'm going to get a new sleeping bag this year too.
All right.
And then some sort of a thermarest or sleeping pad, inflatable sleeping pad, and that's it. I've got a water pump, a good water pump, but plan on just packing a bunch of water and being gone for a couple of days, and
Man, that's exciting.
Dude, I'm taking the gun too. I may take the bow and leave it in the truck, and then if I'm gonna try with the gun, and if I need to move over to the bow, I can. But I just want to get it done,
Yeah.
Which during whitetail season out there, I saw a mule deer, so
really?
Which was kind of nice. But so I kind of know where I'm going to start, and got to scout a little bit, but I'd like to get up there one time beforehand, but it's so freaking hot, you know?
Yeah.
But that's like north, you know? That's like the north.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's like, you know.
Basically Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I wish. But I'm super jealous of you boys getting to go. You getting to go mule deer hunt in Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing to be able to, that's.
Like, do you have a friend to do that with? Because January is.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold and probably gonna need some help figuring out the first couple of days where they're located and just the whole experience. Yeah, I just try not to think about it too much, really.
How long are you planning on going?
Let's see if I can leave work or actually probably just leave early Saturday morning and then try to just do like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just go into a whole nother weekend. Probably like 5 days of PTO would be used for that trip, I'd imagine. So I haven't done the math so well on how many full days of hunting versus driving that would be. I think it is a total of 13 hours or something.
Yeah,
driving.
That's a hard pill to drop off in one day.
Yeah. I need to go through like a thorough list of like what to pack for your first Western trip, and I'm probably going to spend too much money on that. So
yeah. But at least I bet it'll be cold though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be probably like a high of like 65 and a low in the like
20s or 30s at night.
Or high 20s. Yeah. Yeah, but the cool thing about Arizona is that you can buy and I haven't done enough research. It's either your tag itself or the license, but it lasts for a whole 365 like a calendar year. So if I go like January the 8th through whatever this year, I can go back like December the next year or September. As long as it falls before that period, I can still be good under that tag or license. Don't quote me on any of that, but it's so it's a good deal. You know, you're gonna if you're planning on doing it twice a year, they almost make it like entice you to go twice a year, or twice within 2 years.
A calendar year kind of thing. Yeah, I gotcha. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So. Well, it sounds like we've got a pretty packed January.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so.
Just right whenever you think October and November is going to be hardcore deer, and then we're talking about maybe helping y'all film on some ducks, probably later in the winter. Yep. So then rolling right into the 19 with a couple of real big game hunts. Probably a first for a lot of us.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm hoping we've got some firsts knocked out by the end of the year. So, well. Jordan, you got anything to add? Nope. It's late.
I'm tired.
School night.
It's totally a school night for me.
So, well, we appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, keep your eye out for the letter that's coming out that you can share with the Texas Parks and Wildlife on Black Gap. There's also 2 acres being added to Caddo grasslands, but 2 acres is, I guess it's a step in the right direction, though.
It ain't negative.
It's positive. So, August is 16,002 acres that are on the docket for the Texas Parks and Wildlife to acquire, and BHA is definitely trying to spearhead them and pushing that over the edge. So, anything you can do, reach out to anybody you know in Texas Parks and Wildlife, make your voice heard, and make sure you join up with backcountry hunters and anglers. And one last plug for our last full draw event, or one of our last full draw events. We're not sure if we're going to do one in Houston yet or not, but full draw film tour coming to Austin, Texas at Archery Country on August 11th. Doors open at 5 o'clock, and the show gets kicked off at 6:30. We've got a shit ton of raffle prizes. Great stuff. We got some fly rods. We got some First Light gear. We've got some hog hunts. We've got some bow fishing trips, a bunch of gear, cool BHA swag. And come out and support Public Lands. It's a badass film tour. Lots of cool videos. And if you've never watched hunting videos in front of a bunch of people, like at a movie theater, it's the bomb. It's awesome. So come and hang out. Tickets at $10 in advance. Go out to BHA's page, and you can buy those tickets. And check us out. Check out the calendar event. We've got a lot of hike to hunts and pint nights coming up soon. And Stormwater Creek will be a big part of those. Yeah, we do. September 22nd at Filson in Plano, we're going to have a storyteller event with Mark Smith, who's been on this podcast before. His name is Muley Slayer. He's going to talk to us about mule deer hunting. So,
what's the dates again for the Austin Archery Country?
August 11th.
Gotcha.
It's Saturday. So
solid.
Yes. So this podcast will be out before then. So unlike the hike to hunt that occurs in 72 hours, which I feel like I'm not even rested for, we should go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Like and subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you review, and we appreciate you listening to us.
Go check out the website, stormwatercreek.com. The crappie cakes we're talking about, the recipes up there.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic, delicious if you fish at all, especially if you get crappie. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So, thanks for listening, guys. Peace.
People call me good, some people call me bad, some people call me, and I always come. Some people need me, some people want me. If you think you don't worry, 'cause you will soon. So Diablo, eres Diablo. Well, I'm you and you're me, we're all burning in hell. When I come to your call, you got nothing at all. You're sitting all alone, singing holy. Make a deal with me when we come to agree. Shake hands and you'll see that I'm you and you're me. So Diablo, eres Diablo. Well, I'm you and you're me. We're all burning in say you're religious, praying woe is me. I don't care what you call it, 'cause you're all going down with me. The only God I know is the same that I just told.